Good day! Here are the stories for the Manila Times for Tuesday, March 8, 2022. Equity markets plunged on Monday while oil prices soared to a near 14-year high and safe haven gold broke $2,000 as investors grew increasingly fearful about the impact of the Ukraine war on the global economy. Trading floors were a sea of red in early exchanges under already high inflation. The commodity at one point rocketed almost 18% to $119.13, a level not seen since mid-2008, after U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said the White House and allies were in talks about banning imports from Russia. With the country the third biggest producer of oil, such a move would compound a supply crisis just as demand takes off. Other commodities sourced from the region, such as wheat and metals, were also sharply higher. A steep increase in fuel prices, the biggest so far this year, will be in effect starting today. Local oil companies Petrogas, Sea Oil, Caltex, and Shell will raise their pump prices effective 6 a.m. The per liter price of biodiesel will go up by 5 pesos and 85 centavos, unleaded gasoline by 3 pesos and 60 centavos, and kerosene by 4 pesos and 10 centavos. The price of gasoline had gone up by 31.3%, diesel by 44.1%, and kerosene by 34.2% from last year. The Department of Energy said the escalation of the conflict between Ukraine and Russia has pushed up global oil and gas prices. Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas Governor Benjamin Diokno said the oil price rise could trigger inflation. In a statement issued on Sunday, Diokno said if global oil prices reach $120 to $140 per barrel this year, inflation could hit 4.4 to 4.7%. The BSP earlier said inflation for this year could settle within the 3.7 to 3.4% range. In 2021, it settled at 3.9%. Sustaining economic activity will help the country cushion the impact of the Russia-Ukraine conflict, Presidential Advisor for Entrepreneurship Jose Maria Joy Concepcion III said on Monday. He said the Philippines, being a consumer-driven economy, is highly dependent on mobility, which is why the National Capital Region and other key areas must stay at Alert Level 1 until the end of the year. Continuous observance of health protocols, he stressed, will keep the COVID-19 virus at bay and prevent lockdowns and restrictions. The country's micro, small, and medium enterprises, although severely affected by restrictions, still generate 63.2% of employment in the country, Concepcion said. 4 highly urbanized cities in Luzon and 2 in the Visayas were classified as very low risk for COVID-19, the independent analytics group Okta Research said on Monday. Data provided by Okta Research fellow Dr. Guido David on Twitter identified the very low-risk cities as Angeles, Dagupan, Lucena, and Olongapo in Luzon, and Bacolod and Tacloban in the Visayas. Classified as low-risk are the National Capital Region and the cities of Baguio, Naga, and Santiago in Luzon, and Cebu, Lapu-Lapu, Mandaue, and Ormoc in the Visayas. Puerto Princesa City in Palawan and Iloilo City are still at moderate risk. President Rodrigo Duterte has signed into law a measure raising the age of sexual consent from 12 to 16 years to further shield minors from rape and other acts of sexual abuse. The President signed on March 4 Republic Act 11648, which amends Republic Act 8353 of 1997, also called the Anti-Rape Law of 1997. The new law provides additional protection to minors aged 16 and under against the following sexually related offenses: qualified seduction, child prostitution, and other forms of sexual abuse, child trafficking, and forceful hiring of minors for obscene publications and indecent shows. Republic Act 11648 also mandates the stricter protection of minors from other acts of neglect, abuse, cruelty, or exploitation prejudicial to the child's development. In business, the local bourse extended its decline on Monday amid inflation worries and the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine. The 30-member Philippine Stock Exchange Index dipped 0.73% or 53.94 points to 7,288.07, while the wider all shares also shed 0.73% or 28.54 points to finish at 3,866.98. Meanwhile, in sports, the World Kickboxing Association Philippines held its online national age group kickboxing form and shadow kickboxing championship, the first in its long line of events for the year last February 27. Originally known as a full-contact combat sport, form and shadow kickboxing tournaments were recent developments in kickboxing aiming to demonstrate the beauty of its techniques. Antonio Contreras and Dian Macabenta are today's front page columnists. Contreras corrects the misconceptions about the separation of church and state, while Macabenta analyzes Russia's economic collapse. Speaking of Russia, today's editorial discusses the economic sanctions against Moscow and who will blink first. Read the full version on the paper's opinion section or listen to the Voice of the Times. For more news and information, get a copy of the Manila Times on print, subscribe to its digital edition, or log on to www.manilatimes.net. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, and keep up with the Times. On behalf of the Manila Times, this is Arik John Seco reporting. Have a safe Tuesday ahead.